Welcome everyone, my name is Derek and today I'm going to be showing you how to deploy Greenplum Command Center to Kubernetes to manage your Greenplum cluster. Greenplum Command Center is the user interface for Greenplum. It has been for a while now, but you now have the ability to deploy this to Kubernetes as well as your Greenplum clusters. So let's go ahead and jump right into this. In order to deploy Greenplum Command Center, we're going to jump into our terminal. And just to recap, we have Colima running here. This is virtualized container system running Kubernetes. The benefit here is I am on a Mac, a MacBook Pro, that is ARM-based. This allows me to run an x86 version of Kubernetes that Greenplum requires. So I already have Kubernetes running with Colima, so I can do k-git nodes, see that it is running. It's just a single node here. And then I already have in the past video, which I encourage you to watch, deployed Greenplum. So we have a Greenplum cluster running here, and we can do k-git pods and see that I have my coordinator and 3 segments running, as well as my operator, all in one namespace for this. Now, deploying the Greenplum Command Center is really simple. It's a single file, which I'll show you here in a second, but it is k-apply -f, and then it is GPCC minimal.yaml. So I'm going to hit apply on this to kick it off. And then I'll show you exactly what's in this file. So that is applying. And I'll link to this GitHub repo. It has the exact instructions that I am going through here. And the file that we are deploying is this GPCC minimal. And this is just a copy from the documentation, which says we're deploying Greenplum Command Center. We're going to give it a name. We're going to point it at our Greenplum cluster, and we'll give it some storage. The big thing that you may have to change here is the storage class name. On Colima, on ARM-based Mac, it defaults to local path, but you may have to check and change your storage class name. So that's it. If we go back to our terminal, we can do k-git pods. We will see we now have a pod for GPCC, Greenplum Command Center. It is running. It is running, but it will be still getting configured by the controller manager. So we can do k-git GPCC. We will see that it is pending. And the way to see what's happening is you can actually tail the logs of the operator. So we can do k-logs, give it the name of the operator, and we will tail this. There's a lot in there, but we can see here that is installing GPCC. Now, in my experience, you will see some transient errors in here with a timeout deploying. Sometimes that quickly resolves itself. Sometimes that can take a while. But I tail these logs and then may go get a cup of coffee or a drink and then wait until we see that GPCC is ready, and then it's installed. Now that we have Greenplum Command Center running, which we can verify with k-git pods, and we can see that we have our coordinator and 3 segments running, we have our operator running, and most importantly, we have Greenplum Command Center running. We can also look at k-git GPCC and see that it is running. Now that it is running, the first thing that we want to do is forward the port so that we can access it. In a normal setup where you have a load balancer, either on-prem or with one of the public clouds, you may not have to do this. In this case, running on Kubernetes on my laptop, I need to forward the port, which is port 8080. So I can do k-port forward. This will be to my pod, so GPCC app 0, and I want to forward port 8080 to port 8080. so that I can access it on my laptop. We will start that. And now if I go back to my browser, and we can go to localhost 8080, refresh, and we get Greenplum Command Center, and it's asking me to log in. The default username is gpmon, and the default password is actually a secret in Kubernetes. So if we come back here, not in our port forward, but we can do kubectl git secrets. I've typed this one before. We're going to get the secret GPCC. This is specified in the documentation, and I'll share the command below later. And then we're going to base 64 decode it. Ignore the ampersand there, the percentage sign rather. That's something that bash just adds. So we've got that password. We can go ahead and log in. And now that we're logged in, the first thing that we'll see is the dashboard, which will give us a quick view of the health of the cluster. We can see how long it's been up, the versions. Here I have 3 segments running, which makes sense because I've deployed 3 on Kubernetes. I can see general information about CPU, memory, disk, and some alerts. So some alerts from perhaps my SQL earlier. From here, I can look at real-time queries that I'm running. Right now, I don't have any running, but let's go ahead and run one. In order to run the query, we're going to go back to our terminal, and in a new window, we will exec into our pod. So we will exec into the coordinator for our cluster, and we're going to run the PSQL command. You could also connect with PSQL if you forwarded that port as well. In here, we can look at the different databases we have. I've created a retail database, so let's go ahead and connect to retail. And then I've got a query here that is going to add a little bit of a sleep so that we can hopefully see this. So let's go ahead and run that. And we can see that this query is running. If we click on it, we can get more information about this query. We can see how Greenplum is processing the query, other metadata on that query, exactly what that query is. So why is this query running slow? Oh, because I've got a sleep statement in there. So it's really nice if you have analytical queries that are running, that are taking a long time. You can come in here, you can see the status of them, you can stop them if you need to, you can debug them. We can also look in here and see how queries have been performing over time. So number of queries, and then you'd be looking at, okay, what is that doing to my CPU, memory, IO? And then down here, we can look at a set of queries. We can see that last one we ran. Let's go ahead and run another query here. So if we look at what we have here, we have customers, we have products, we have transactions. So if we do select star from transactions, we can see the transactions. If we come back here, it should refresh, but I'm going to be impatient and do a refresh. We can see another query. Actually, this looks like this was something else that it was running. Let's go back here. You'll get some of these that are the system running queries as well. Select star from transaction. There's our query. If we want more information on what are the tables, what is the schema of the database, we can come in here. Again, we can go back to our retail database. Search, we can see all of our tables. We could look at one, customers, can see the columns, their configuration, and we can look at recent queries. So same view here as before, but just a different way to get to it by the actual table name. Beyond that, you can start to drill into the cluster of Greenplum. And you can, again, look at information on the queries, its performance, CPU, I/O, memory. You can view different information in real time. So we can see here, we've got the coordinator with its performance and resources. We have the different segments with its performance and resources. You can start to look at skew, so you can start to see if different pieces are overloaded or misloaded. And then the other big thing that you're going to look at here, of course, is storage. So how is the storage for the system? Now, there's other capabilities here. I'm not going to walk through each of them, but this is just a highlight of what you know and are used to with Greenplum Command Center, but it running on Kubernetes as a pod, connected to a Kubernetes or a Greenplum cluster also running on Kubernetes. So thanks for joining me today. I'll see you later.